both enolets. Okay, since the molecule is symmetrical, okay, pay attention, since the molecule is symmetrical, these are equivalent to C7 and C5, C7 and C5 respectively. However, the C3 enolate is dead end. C3 enolate is a dead end. Formation of the strengthened four-membered ring is reversible, and equilibrium will be eventually drive the reaction for toward formation of the six-membered aldol condensation. So why the 1,5 diketone now? Why the enolate is forming at the carbon number 1, and why the enolate is not going to form at the carbon number 3? There is the very very best reason we will see on the next slide. Okay, so there are see 1,5 diketone, that means there are a total 4 acidic or total 4 active sites. So if we will add NaOH, that can abstract proton from either from C1 position or C3 position. Okay, so but we want selectively C1 position, not C3 position. Once C3 will form, C3 carbanion is not going to be, it's not for us, it's not beneficial, uh, as what that one is forming in the next time that we will see on the next slide. So the formation of the inlet on C1 followed by the attack at the ketone 5 carbon away, giving the 6-membered ring. Okay, so once we got the carbanion, we will attack via aldol condensation and we will get the product. Okay, so the we will see now how the intramolecular aldol condensation is working. So the now here is the 1,5 diketone. Okay, so I am telling 1,5, but numbering is different. From first position goes to methyl group, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. Okay, we have total 7 carbon atoms and 2 carbonyl groups. Okay, and we want to synthesize the cyclohexanone ring system or cyclohexenone ring system, anything is okay. So intramolecular aldol condensation, this is our Michael adduct. Okay, this is our Michael adduct. So 1,5 diketone, and now we are going to treat this one with the sodium hydroxide. So two reactions I have shown over here. This one reaction, this one is abstracting proton at the C3 position, and this reaction, this one is abstracting proton at the C1 position. Okay, so both things I am showing here. So there is will be no. Now we will see first the at if it will abstract proton at the third position at C3 carbon atom, what is happening. So once we generate the carbanion at the third position, then cyclization is intramolecular reaction. Okay, so once enolate is forming or negative charge is forming, it adds nucleophilically to the carbonyl group. Okay, so it acts as a nucleophile, and that one is going to add this across this carbonyl group. Okay, so if that one is adding across this carbonyl group, only 4-membered ring is forming. Okay, 4-membered ring is formed. It's very very strained ring. Okay, so there is it's not very good idea to form, it's not very easy to form this highly strained ring, a 4-membered ring. So the abstraction of proton at the third position, this thing has been ruled out because we cannot generate this highly strained 4-membered ring. So it's not, if that one is forming also, that one is not giving this type of product formation. Okay, next path, the formation of the C1 enolate, that means abstraction of proton at the first position. How that one is working. So once we generated enolate at the first carbon atom, that one is intramolecularly attack or adds to the carbonyl group at the sixth position. Okay, so this is nucleophile. Okay, CH2 minus is nucleophile, or we can see we can call it enolate also. So these enolate adds via 1 to addition pathway. Okay, so in this reaction you can see everything we have seen 1 for addition also we have seen here. Now this is adding via 1 to direct addition, okay, across the carbonyl oxygen, and this addition occurs, and in that way there is a generation of 6-membered ring. Okay, 6-membered ring, and as we need aldol product. Okay, so here is a negative charge which is placed at the sixth position, negative charge, that one is abstracting proton from the solvent, and it generates the beta hydroxy ketone. So what is the product of aldol condensation? Aldol condensation product is the beta hydroxy ketone we got. And once we got this beta hydroxy ketone, again we got aldol product here, and this aldol product again on treatment with the strong base, that one is abstracting proton. This is highly acidic proton now, abstracting proton to generate the cyclohexenone. Okay, cyclohexenone, substituted cyclohexenone. So this is nothing but our the mechanism of the Robinson's annulation reaction. This is the second part, Robinson's annulation reaction, aldol. And in this way we can synthesize the thing. So now what is the extra thing, retrosynthesis of the Robinson's annulation? You have part of the retrosynthetic pathway. So what, how the retrosynthesis of the Robinson's annulation we can do? So here is the and retrosynthesis of the Robinson's annulation reaction. Okay, so the working backwards. So this moiety we have synthesized, that means via Robinson's annulation we have synthesized, we have to break over in this carbon carbon double bond, we can get such type of moiety, and alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, and this is the diketone. Okay, from these two molecules we can synthesize our final product. Okay, one more example about the reaction. Again, one more example about the of the synthesis of new cyclohexenone ring. Okay, this is our the beauty of this reaction of the Robinson annulation reaction. By using sodium methoxide, we got the enolate, and this enolate adds via 1,4 conjugate addition to the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, and in this way we can get this type of intermediate here. This is the up to here Michael addition occurs. Okay, once we got this type of product, we can go for the intramolecular aldol reaction. So we got the intramolecular aldol reaction. Okay, so after once we got this product, 6-member cyclohexanone formation, upon dehydration we can get here cyclohexenone as a Robinson's annulation product. So this is the beauty of this reaction. So now one more important part regarding the Robinson's annulation reaction is nothing but the, we can use this one to synthesize the Wieland-Mischer ketone. Okay, so very important in the synthesis of okay natural steroids or synthetic steroids. Okay, so Wieland-Mischer ketones. Here you can see over here or here is the we can synthesize this kind of cyclohexenone via Robinson's annulation. This is testosterone, progesterone, and in testosterone chemically or synthetically in the laboratory, we have to use this step of the Robinson's annulation. Okay, for the Wieland-Mischer, this is the Wieland-Mischer ketone. Okay, so synthesis we can start from the methyl vinyl ketone and 2 methyl 1,3 cyclohexane dione. Okay, in presence of potassium hydroxide, methanol, heat, we can get the Wieland-Mischer ketone. Okay, this is the application of the Robinson's annulation reaction. Okay, one more mechanism of the Wieland-Mischer ketone, how to synthesize this one. So 1,3-diketone, first one we have to, so then we have to attach methyl group. So this is the starting material. We have active hydrogen over here. Okay, acidic hydrogen here in between next to the methyl group. So we have to react here the Michael addition. Okay, so by abstraction of proton from here, it will add to here to alpha beta such a carbonyl and once you got this Michael adduct, you can do the intramolecular aldol condensation to get this new cyclohexanone ring. And once you got new cyclohexanone ring, upon dehydration, it gives the Wieland-Mischer ketone. Okay, writing in different way, so you can get like this. So hope this one will be helpful for you.